Good afternoon, boys and girls. Today we are going to do problem solving strategies, write a number sentence. This is chapter 1, lesson 6 in math. So again, we're going to be talking about how do you add numbers. So adding numbers means you're going to put two parts together to get a whole. So here's our problem of the day. We're going to look at this chart here, and we're going to try to figure out which two children have the same number of marbles. We have Sam, Lena, and Madison. So they each have some marbles. So if we look at Sam, we notice that he has 2 blue marbles and 4 yellow marbles. He doesn't have any green, purple, red, or orange. Lena has 4 green marbles and 3 purple marbles. And Madison has 2 red marbles and 5 orange marbles. And we want to know which two children have the same number of marbles and how many marbles do those two children have. So first we need to think of a strategy. How are we going to solve this problem? So the first thing I'm going to do, because it helps me, I'm going to draw a picture. I'm going to go to the end of my chart here, and I'm going to look at Sam, and it says he has 2 blue, and he has 4 yellow. And I'm going to draw my groups separate so I can keep them apart. So I know this is one part, and this is another part. Then I'm going to look at Lena. She's got 4 green, and she has 3 purple. So I'm always drawing my first part with open circles and my second part with closed circles. Madison has 2 red, 5 orange. So now I'm going to look at my groups here, and I'm going to go back and I'm just going to count them to see how many I have in all. So when I look at Sam's, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to write that down so I remember. He has 6 marbles. Lena has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Madison has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the total number of marbles each child has when I put the 2 parts together. So again, what I'm looking for is which 2 children have the same number of marbles. Right, Lena and Madison each have 7 marbles. So I would say Lena and Madison. They have the same number of marbles. Now the next question says, how many marbles do the 2 children have? So here's where I'm confused, because do they want to know how many does each child have? Or how many do the 2 have in all? Because it just says how many marbles do the 2 children have. I'm going to add them together, because up here I know they each have 7. So down here I'm going to see how many they have in all. So how would I know what 7 and 7 is? I'm going to add them together. I'm going to count Lena's, and I already know that's 7, so I'm just going to count on. There's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They have 14 marbles in all. If I want to write that in a number sentence, I'm going to put Lena's marbles plus, I'm going to use my plus symbol because I want to know, and I'm going to put the 2 parts together. Madison's marbles equals, because now I know what my total is, or how many I have in all, 14. So Lena and Madison have 14 marbles in all. So here's a quick check where we're going to add. We're going to look at problem 1 and problem 2. If you notice these 2 problems, we're adding the same numbers. We have a group of 7 and a group of 2 we're going to put together. Over here we have a group of 7 and a group of 2 we're going to put together. So this way we're just going to add them vertically. This way we're going to add them horizontally. So when I look at this, I can either say 7, 8, 9. That's one way I can solve it. One of the other things I can do is if I need to draw a picture, then I'm going to draw a picture here to help me solve it. So I would draw my 2 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to do groups of 5, 6, 7. And then 2 more. So I can see that I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 in all. If I do the same thing over here, and I'm going to draw my group of 7 first because it's still my first number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with my 5 group, 6, 7. I'm going to add my other 2, 8, 9. 7 and 2 is still 9. So it doesn't matter if our numbers go up and down or left to right, they still make 9 when I put them together. If I look at 3 and 4, 7 and 3, 7 and 3. Again, if I can do 7 in my head and then add 3 more, 7, 8, 9, 10, then I don't need to draw a picture. If I need to draw a picture to help me come up with the answer, then please just draw a picture like we did up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my 5 group. 6, 7. Now I'm going to add 3 more. 8, 9, 10. And you remember, I did my 2 groups different. I have open circles and closed circles. So 7 and 3 is 10. Same thing over here. I'm going to go left to right. So I'm going to draw my first group first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 3 more. So I have a group of 5 and a group of 5. I have 10 in all. So 7 and 3 is 10. So test practice. 4 plus 4. So we're going to look and see, and 4 plus 4 is 5, 7, 8, or 10. So if I can look at 4 and put it in my brain and add on 4 more, 5, 6, 7, 8, then you can do it that way. Again, if you need to draw a picture, 1, 2, 3, 4, I need 4 more. I want a group of 5 here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know I have 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 plus 4 is 8. I'm just going to color in this circle with the number 8. So learn the strategy. So when we have story problems, there are some things we need to do. The first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we're understanding what they're looking for. So when you read it, it says 2 children are fishing, 4 more children join them. How many children are fishing in all? So it says underline what you know. So underline just means what they did here. You're just going to draw a line underneath that information because we know that 2 children are fishing. We also know that 4 more children are going to come and join them. And then it says circle what you need to find. What are we looking for? We want to know how many children are fishing in all. So the first part is we need to understand what the story is asking us. Then we're going to make a plan. How am I going to solve this problem? How am I going to find out how many children are fishing in all? What is it I should do to get this answer? Again, sometimes a drawing helps me, so I'm just going to do another drawing. And it says there are 2 children fishing, so I'm just going to draw 1, 2, and then it tells me 4 more children join them. 1, 2, 3. There's my group of 5. 4. How many children are fishing in all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My first part, there's 2. And my second part, there's 4. When I put them together, they equal, or they give me a total of 6. How many children are fishing all? There are 6 children fishing in all. So when you go to solve this, this is just what I did on the other page. We already did our number sentence back there. So you're just going to say there were 2 children fishing plus 4 more children fishing makes 6 children in all. If you're going to get your response in a complete sentence, down here, 6 children are fishing in all. answer reasonable? If I tell you that there are 6 children fishing in all, how could I tell if that's a reasonable answer if it's correct? One way is I drew a picture so we could just count them. Another thing to know is if you put 2 parts together, when you have your whole group, that number should be bigger than the 2 numbers you're working with here. So when I look at this, my 6 is a bigger number than my 2 parts up here. So that makes me think, you know what, I think my answer is reasonable. So my answer is bigger, and again, if you need to look at the picture you drew, then you can look at your drawing again. So if I looked at it, 2, 1, 2, then I know I also have this to check my answer. So now we're going to look at today's lesson. So when you're doing your problem solving, you should now have at home counters, you should have Unifix cubes, and then you should have something to draw or write with. Again, when you do your math, make sure you're using a pencil in case you make a mistake. I know we're doing this with marker, but it's so our work shows up a little bit better for you to look at home. Oh, this is the one I just did. So this is the one we just did on the board together. So I am not going to take time to do that one again. So let's move on.
I know it's a little bit early, but we got cars out front. If the aides could come out and help and get the table set up, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
So I'm going to go on to the next page. It says, Cassie saw 2 elk in a field. Marta saw 5 elk in the forest. How many elk do they see all together? So first we want to make sure we understand it. So we're going to underline, what do we know? We know that Cassie saw 2 elk in a field. We also know that Marta saw 5 elk in the forest. What do I need to find out? I want to know how many elk are there in all. So that is what I'm looking for. How am I going to solve my problem? Well, here's where you can choose. You can choose to solve it with Unifix cubes. You can choose to solve it with counters. Or you can choose to solve it by drawing if you want to just draw it. So if I'm going to draw it, I'm going to say there are 2 elk. And then there are 5 more. So I can see in total I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 elk. If I did it with my Unifix cubes, I might say there are 2 in the field. There are 5 in the forest. So when I put them all together, I know there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I still come up with 7. Or maybe you choose to use your counters. So you're going to say there are 2 in the field, 5 in the forest. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are still 7. If I look again, I should know this is 5, 6, 7. So then I'm going to record it. I know there were 2 in the field, plus I added the 5 more that were in the forest. So in all, or total, I get there are 7. 5 plus, or 2 plus 5 equals 7. They see 7 elk all together. Then you're going to check your answer again. Is it reasonable? 1, we should be able to look at our work that we did here, either with the cubes, the counters, or a drawing. And 2, again, when I look, I know 7 is bigger than 2 and 5. So yes, I think my answer is reasonable. And I'm just going to put 7 is bigger than 2 and 5. So yes, I think that makes it a reasonable answer. So you're gonna work on this at home on your own. Apply the strategy. You're gonna practice that yourself. And don't forget to do the back side. And then you also have your homework page. So don't forget to do both sides of your homework. All right, good luck.